was younger, I always liked the idea of camping much more than the reality. In my mind's eye, I had this fantasy of me walking over hill and dale, eating nature's bounty and sleeping under the stars. The reality was a rucksack as heavy as 2 bullocks tied together and a tent like something out of Dad's army. But I've been told by camping expert Clive Tully that these days things have changed.
The big difference with camping equipment is the influence of lightweight, high-tech materials and high-tech designs like this tent, which goes up in about 30 seconds.
Looks like an umbrella.
There we are. Like most tents these days, it's using flexible poles, but this one has a very clever system of joints.
And they just sort of snap into place.
Snap into place. Absolutely nothing to it. So that's the basic tent up. Obviously it needs to be finished off with a few pegs here and there. This kind of tent you'll have either lightweight nylon or polyester with a polyurethane coating on the underside, so it's waterproof. The hoop gives you by far the best most efficient use of the volume inside the tent. You can sit up inside this one. You haven't got walls closing in over the top of you.
But tents are supposed to be green. This is not a green tent.
Well, this tent isn't green, but look at it. It's nice and light inside. You just imagine yourself stuck out in the Highlands, forced to sit out a day of bad weather. Which tent would you rather be in? One that's really dark, green and depressing, or something nice and bright and airy like this?
Another thing I remember about camping is that cooking was always really difficult. And anyway, the food always tasted disgusting. That's if you could get the fire started.
Well, this really is the latest in stove technology. It's almost like a miniature ceramic hob. As you can see, it uses a catalytic element as the heater, so there's no flame at all, and it's just wonderfully safe to use. You can turn the thing over, you could drop it, knock it over, you won't get any flare-ups. It's a wonderful piece of kit. Well, this has to be one of the things that they got right. It's a meths burner. It was designed many years ago. The nice thing about it is that it all packs together with its own cook set. So it's still very much the backpacker's favourite.
What on earth is this? This is not a stove.
It's called a zester firm, would you believe, and it's a heating pad. It's sort of American military technology. We just take the meal pouch, scrunch it up. It's now got to fit into here. Now all we have to do is pour in some water.
So is this some kind of chemical reaction that happens?
That's right, the water and the pad react. All you have to do now with this thing is just sort of fold it over, stand it up somewhere like that.
Fantastic.
Well, that's going to heat up to about 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
And how long does that take to cook your dinner?
Give it about 10 minutes or so.
I'm truly impressed. Tell me about modern camping food.
Basically, you've got the ultra lightweight food, the dehydrated food, like this kind of thing. Or this kind of thing, which is basically canned food in a pouch. It's the kind of stuff the army tends to use.
Let's try this yomping fuel here, shall we? This is cooked with the American pad. Lancashire hot pot.
Lancashire hot pot, yeah.
Let's have a try. That's really not that bad. What about the reconstituted stuff?
You just stir this up once you pour the water in.
What is this one?
Rehydrating. This one's bubble and squeak.
Now that's what I remember camping food tastes like. Absolutely disgusting. Now, Clive, that's what I call a rucksack.
Well, that may be what a rucksack used to look like. This is what I call a rucksack. Nice padding everywhere. And once you've got the sack loaded up on your back, you can transfer most of the weight onto the hip belt, and your hips are the best place to carry lots of weight.
Is there a good way and a bad way to pack a rucksack?
Well, the idea is to try and get the heaviest, the densest items as close to your own back as possible. In other words, as close to your own centre of gravity. Right. Then pad out around that with your spare clothing, other items like that, maybe a sleeping mat, and finish off on top. The one item that you're most likely to need in a hurry, your waterproofs.
Fancy a quick yomp?
Yeah. Do you know where we're going?
No. Wish Ray Mears was here.
Why?
He'd know.